Hello there. This is going to be very informal. This is a Q&A just for the Snuggford community fans, wherever you may be. To give you a little bit of background around the new Primrose Lake game. So we just released a sneak peek, Primrose Lake Twists of Fate on iOS only. And I know for a number of you that is going to be disappointing rather than exciting. Let me tell you why we did this. We're tiny. We're a little studio. So this game is not being published by a big publisher like Gamehouse. It was created with iWin and Square Root of Tree. And when I say iWin, I basically mean me as their freelance studio head, creative director. So when we roll out a game like this, what we're trying to do is enlist all of you, our fans, in helping us to keep making games. It costs money, it's not a hobby, it's a real job, and we love it. I've been doing it for 15 years. 15 years. And specifically, I've been making games for people who like these kinds of games. Never made a game with violence. Guns, you know, I like the occasional profanity, but I don't put a lot of them in my games. And mostly it's about telling fun stories, creating good characters, creating fun gameplay that just about anybody can play with anybody else in the room or playing with them. It's really important. But that means we're an indie studio. That means these things take time, they cost money, and it's always a little scary because you hope the game will be successful. So what I am doing is sending out this video to all of you, and I'm going to answer some of the questions that you're going to have specifically, in the hopes that one, you get the answers, and two, you'll understand the story behind this game a little bit better, what we're trying to do, why it's a limited release, why it might take us some time to get out everywhere, and what specifically you can do to help us. Because believe it or not, our future's in your hands. So the first question we're going to get from the Snuggford community is this a Gamehouse game? And the answer is no. Gamehouse, whom I love, I actually started my career with Real Arcade and Gamehouse, and I've worked with Gamehouse off and on for decades. Those delicious games, if you've played Honeymoon Cruise and Home Sweet Home, and then New Beginning, I was in on that. Or reverse that, New Beginning first was mine, and then Home Sweet Home came out after. Those three I was a part of. So this isn't going to be a Gamehouse bash by any stretch of the imagination, so please do not say negative things about Gamehouse. I love them, we love them. It's just they're evolving and they're doing their own thing and they're not publishing as much anymore, and that's totally cool. That's what grown-up studios do. So we are self-publishing, which means that we will not be on Gamehouse Original Stories. We will not be a part of their subscription service. If everything goes well and we can release PC, which we will do, but we don't know when, you will find us on gamehouse.com. But like I said, we adore those guys, we'll end up there. So I hope that clears up any confusion. The first game was made independently by the same group of people. It's just that Gamehouse was still publishing, so when we finished it, we kind of snuck in because they loved the game. And we were super excited about that. So right now we are only out on iOS, and the next logical question is, when can I play it? When is it going to be on my platform? So this is basically our beta test, right? It's a sneak peek, it's a limited release, whatever you want to call it. We have released into Canada, the United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand, and Poland, because that's where Square Root of Tree is. And only in English, because all the other things cost money. And so we're very proud of the game. We love the game. But it doesn't matter how we feel. What matters is how the game does and how the fans respond. If you love the game, there are things you specifically can do to help us get the game released on other platforms. Like um, like the post, comment on the post. It will bump our posts up to the top of the Facebook feed. Like our page. Share our posts on your personal Facebook page. Go and find our app in your app store. If you are in one of those 5 countries I named, go find the app in the app store. Rate it. Give us a good review. Share a link to all of your friends, or anyone that plays games, even people who don't play games. These are literally the tricks that push games up so that people who have never heard of a time management game or Primrose Lake can find it, because Apple goes, oh, something's happening here, and will pop it up in the algorithms, right? So our fate's literally in your hands. You literally can help this game succeed. Based on how this game does in this limited release is going to influence how we release globally. It's going to influence how many languages we can translate it into. We will at least aim to do English, French, Italian, German, Spanish, Polish, Dutch, Portuguese might get thrown in there too. I'm hoping for Chinese as well. Like I say, it all depends on how we do. It will come out on Android. We actually have that. It's all prepped up and ready, but we decided not to release on Android at this time. Why? Well, Android versus Apple. Apple will let you erase reviews. So there's a forgiving curve there. Like, we're going to learn things. You're going to teach us things as you go out and play. And so we will improve, make those improvements, change those things in the game, and do a new release. And when we do a global release, it is lovely to be able to reset reviews and ratings if you've just had a bug you couldn't foresee, because we can only test on so many devices, or whatever the issue is. Android, once it's out there forever. There's one link, it lives at that link forever, and even if something catastrophic happens, too bad, bully for you, deal with it. It's pure, and I get that, but it makes people like us nervous about doing beta testing there, or doing limited releases there. So Android is ready. We will release on Android as soon as we possibly can. And it is a part of our global platform. And in the future, once it's out on Android, Android and iOS will release together, right? So you'll see them come out at the same time, which is super cool. Now, here's the other question you all want to have an answer to. When is it coming to PC? Is it coming to PC? Why don't you guys still make PC games? We want our PC games. Sister, brother, family, I hear you. I play these things on PC as well. I love playing on my iPhone. It goes with me everywhere. It's my computer in my pocket, so I like being able to play on the bus, on the train. Oh, when those things actually existed in the United States. But playing on my PC is nice because I can just sit there in my jammies and play on a big screen. We will release this game on PC. That will happen. It will come out on iWin and the entire iWin network. As I said, it should come out on Gamehouse as well. And then hopefully it'll also show up on Big Fish, iPlay, wherever your portal of choice is. We should also be releasing this on Steam, and we would love to release it on Switch. So all of that is in the works. There is a plan for it. The only question I can't answer is when. And like I say, the when is really going to be influenced by how this beta test goes. I know I keep saying that, but I can't stress it enough. How the game tests, do we have good retention? Are people using their diamonds? Are they, coming back when their hearts refresh? Are they playing all of the levels? Just all of the stuff. Like, did you just eat it up? We've got 3 episodes. With a minimum of 18 levels per episode, and it's actually more than that. So it's the standard 6. So in the PC version, we'll have 6 time management levels, and then we get a mini game. And these are real mini games this time. In free to play, what makes it different is that each of those levels has 3 stars, and you can play each of those stars, and each of those stars is a different gameplay experience, which I think is pretty cool. But then you also get, like in the second episode, you won't have 6 levels, you'll have not many. 8 levels. My fingers wouldn't work for a moment. You'll have 8 levels. And in the third episode, you get 10 levels, and all of them have 3 stars each. So it just keeps growing and growing and growing. In premium, you won't have that. You'll have your 6 nodes, but you will have settings. You can pick easy, medium, and hard, and they're really different this time. They really are easy, medium, and hard. We'll have achievements. So it's just, basically, we've just got to see what you guys do, how it goes, and then that is going to influence how many people we can have on our team, and how many people we can have on our team influences how fast we can work, and that means getting the game out to you faster on all of the platforms. That was a long answer, but those are the big questions. Those are the big questions everybody always asks, and I'm going to be looking down for a second to see. Oh, so let's talk a little bit about the new game. I am going to do something special just for you Snuggford fans. Are you ready?
Here it is, the new game, which looks familiar and doesn't look familiar. We've got a lot of new things to show you guys. As you can tell, it's autumn now. We've added some new stuff to our interface. You've got diamonds and coins and hearts. Over here you have achievements, which are real achievements. As you play, you will work towards goals, and there will be diamonds you can claim. The level nodes have been improved a little bit. You can see I've already played the resort, and yet here it is. You can go in and play the upgrades, or should I say buy the upgrades, right from the map, which I really, really love. We wanted this so much in the first game, and we just couldn't fit it in. If you scroll right and left, you will find the mystery location, which I am not going to click on because there's important story on that mystery location, and you will have to go and find the game and play it. But I don't know. I think I should show you a level. What do you think? All right. Just randomly picking a level I haven't played, so you can play. I'm not going to buy any upgrades right now, obviously. Oh, and I love this hint. Yes, check out multiple customers at a time. It's a secret. It's very important to beating the levels. So this is the resort. You guys all remember the resort wasn't open yet when we were in Primrose Lake. The first time Jenny had to break in. So now it's up and running. And this is Persimmon. It's hard to talk and play at the same time. Oh, power-ups. You can go in, you can pick your power-ups, which I love. You can pick them from the levels, not just before you get into the level. Because sometimes you change your mind. And personally, if I'm spending diamonds on something, I want to know what the level plays like before I go in and pick the power-up that I'm going to want to use. So, yeah, all of these lumberjacks in Persimmon Hollister's lovely hotel. I know all of you experts are watching me play. It's like, oh, you got to do it right. It's hard to talk and play at the same time. So I think I'm going to stop it there, which is a little mean. I don't mean to be mean, but I have to do it. Hi there. Now I believe this is working. Do you notice anything different? I'm going to show you that very happy human that was recording that other video for you. Now we're in the future, and this person's a little grumpy, and I apologize, but my sound, I did all of that preview, and my sound cut off because it does. Anyway, what I was telling you guys is the story in the new game continues quite a bit. If you buy the premium, you'll get to play the entire story. So all 5 chapters, 90 levels, believe that's the case, for season 2 will come out for premium. Free to play, it'll come out as the chapters come out. That is a really big difference between the premium and the free to play version of the game. Now, what do we do with the story? Do we answer all of your questions? Because I know there were a number of you who were quite grumpy with me that we just ended on a cliffhanger. But when I conceived of the story for this game, I really wanted to do it like we would for a television series. And that means that you don't answer all the questions. You just assume that you get to keep developing story for all of your characters. So in our game, I mean, yeah, Jenny and Jessica exist, but there are only 2 possible storylines. And we can introduce new characters all the time, of course, but we already have a whole cast of characters. One of our artists who helps with all of the scenes, helps with all of the story scenes, shout out to Olawan. Olawan Kenobi, I call her, the Jedi Master. She makes all of our poses and stuff, and so she came in and saw the end of, oh my gosh, I think chapter 2, chapter 3, and she's like, okay, I want to know what's going on with Jake. That is my new favorite storyline. So Jake gets a really good storyline in this one. Jenny, will answer some questions for Jenny. When you get to episode 3, you will actually find out some stuff for Jenny. So episode 1 is the resort. You meet Persimmon Hollister, who's an heiress and runs this resort as a hobby. I don't know. She doesn't have to work for a living, so she gets to do whatever she wants. Must be nice. David, who's her handyman. And then Frank DeLuca, who's her business manager, who her father sent out with her to basically run the resort. Frank does not want to be there. Sugar gets a good storyline. The doc is featured a little bit more. He doesn't get as much of a storyline, but we get to learn a little bit more about him. The sheriff doesn't feature as highly in the game, but the Ox does. He actually gets a pretty good storyline in this game. Jake is significant. And then we introduce other new characters. I'm not going to tell you all of them because I want you to be surprised. We will revisit Adventure Island Rentals, but it will be different this time. All of the locations that we revisit will change. And then we've got the 2 new locations, which are the resort and the jail, which is coming. And if you've watched the trailer, you've seen a little preview there. So yeah, story-wise, we're just going to keep telling story, and we're going to try to answer some questions, but we're probably going to ask more questions than we answer, because that's the fun part of stories, is there's always another layer. There's always new depths to tell. There will be twists and turns. There will be cliffhangers, and there will be reveals, which, if you play the premium game, you will know the answer to the question of who's the Shadow Man, who... Everyone wants to know the answer to that question from the first game. So I think I've answered all of the important questions that have been lingering, that have been out there. Thank you for watching this whole video. I know it was long, but I really, really love and respect you guys. We could not do this without you, and so it was important to us to kind of fill you in on what's going on. So before I sign off, this year has been a really hard year for a lot of people. I know 2020 is just, it's putting us through the mill. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, on behalf of everyone on the game, we love you. Stay safe, be well, and thank you for coming along with us on the journey.